Go to sleep while I tell you how to live off-grid. Take a slow breath in, and let it go. You don't have to be anywhere right now. You don't have to answer anything, fix anything, or figure anything out tonight. Just let your body sink a little deeper into wherever you're lying. Let your shoulders fall. Let your jaw go soft. Tonight, I'm going to tell you about a different kind of life. A quieter one. A slower one. One where you wake up when the sun rises, eat what the earth gives you, and fall asleep under skies full of stars so thick they look like spilled salt on dark velvet. I'm going to tell you how people live off the grid, simply, freely, and happily. And by the time I'm done, you'll be fast asleep, dreaming of wide open land and wood smoke and mornings that belong entirely to you. So let's begin. Part 1, Choosing Your Land. Imagine you're standing at the edge of a field. The grass is long and moves in slow waves, like water. There are trees at the far end, oak and birch and pine, and somewhere beyond them, you can hear the faint sound of a stream. The air smells like rain and earth. It smells like possibility. This is the first step in an off-grid life. Finding your land. It doesn't have to be grand. It doesn't have to be perfect. Many people start with just an acre or two, enough to grow food, keep a few animals, and build a small shelter. Others go bigger, disappearing into dozens of acres of forest and meadow. But the size matters less than the feeling. The feeling that this piece of earth is yours to care for, and it will care for you in return. When choosing land, the people who live this way look for a few things. Water is the first, a stream, a well, a natural spring. Water is life, and when you live off the grid, you think about it differently. You stop taking it for granted. They look for sun. A good south-facing slope means your garden gets light all day, your solar panels work efficiently, and your home stays warm in winter without much effort. They look for trees, not just for beauty, but for timber, for firewood, for windbreaks that protect crops and keep a homestead warm when the cold comes. And they look for good soil. Rich, dark, crumbly soil that holds moisture and grows things. You can improve poor soil over time, with compost, with care, but it helps to start somewhere that wants to grow. Breathe in slowly, and out. Picture yourself walking that land in the early morning, mist still low across the grass, boots damp with dew. There is no traffic noise. No notifications. Just the sound of birds beginning their day, and the soft crunch of your own footsteps. That land is already yours in your imagination. Hold on to it. Part 2, Building Your Shelter. Now you have your land. The next thing you need is a home. Off-grid homes come in all shapes. Some people build timber frame cabins, traditional, beautiful, solid things that will stand for 100 years. Others prefer cob houses, made from clay and straw and sand, with walls so thick they stay warm in winter and cool in summer without any heating system at all. Some build with straw bales, or reclaimed wood, or stone pulled from the land itself. Some people start with something much simpler. A yurt, a round, canvas-walled tent with a wooden frame, can be put up in a weekend and lived in for years. A converted barn. A tiny house on wheels. What matters is that it shelters you, keeps you warm and dry, and gives you a place to rest your head under stars you can finally see again. The key principles are the same across all of them. Build small. A small home is easier to heat, easier to clean, easier to maintain. When your home is small, every corner of it matters. Every window is placed with purpose. You stop accumulating things you don't need, because there's nowhere to put them, and you stop wanting them anyway. Build to face the sun. In the northern hemisphere, most of your windows face south so they catch the light all day, warming the space naturally. Thick walls and a good roof hold that warmth through the night. Use what's around you. Off-grid builders harvest timber from their own land, carry stone from nearby fields, mix clay from the ground beneath their feet. There is something deeply satisfying about living in a house made from the land you're standing on. Let your body grow heavier now. Let your arms rest. Let your thoughts slow down like a river widening into a lake, calm, deep, unhurried. In your mind, you are sitting by a small wood stove inside your cabin. The fire crackles quietly. Outside, rain is falling on the roof, soft and steady. Your floor is warm under your feet. Your walls are thick. There is nowhere else you need to be. Part 3: Growing your food. When you live off the grid, you grow things. Not everything, not at first. You start small. A vegetable patch, maybe 4 raised beds, built from timber planks and filled with good compost. You plant things that grow easily: courgettes and beans and salad greens in spring, tomatoes and potatoes and squash in summer, kale and leeks and root vegetables in autumn. You learn, slowly, what your land likes to grow. Every piece of land is different. Some soils love potatoes. Some climates are perfect for soft fruit, gooseberries, raspberries, blackcurrants that hang in deep purple clusters in July. You pay attention, and the land tells you what it wants. Over time, the garden grows. You add fruit trees, apple, pear, plum, that take a few years to establish but will then feed you for decades. You plant herbs along the path, lavender and rosemary and thyme, which smell extraordinary in the heat of the day and dry beautifully for winter cooking. You learn to preserve what you grow. Jams and pickles and chutneys. Vegetables fermented in salt brine, sharp, probiotic, alive. Roots cellared in cool dark earth. Grains dried and stored. Apples wrapped in paper and laid out in rows. You are no longer dependent on a lorry arriving at a warehouse, arriving at a supermarket, arriving at your trolley. You are fed by your own hands, your own effort, your own land. Many off-grid people also keep animals. Chickens are the most common, hardy, useful, full of personality. A small flock of 6 or 8 hens will give you all the eggs you need, year-round, and their scratching and pecking is enormously entertaining to watch on a slow morning. You give them your kitchen scraps. They give you breakfast. Some people keep goats, for milk and cheese and company. Goats are clever, stubborn, and make you laugh. A few people keep pigs, which are raised on scraps and foraged food and turned into a year's worth of bacon and sausages and slow-roasted pork. Breathe out slowly. Picture a kitchen garden in high summer. Everything is green and sprawling and just a little wild. Bees move between the borage flowers. A butterfly lands on a bean plant and stays very still. The sun is warm on the back of your neck. You reach down and pull a carrot from the soil, orange, earthy smelling, completely real. That carrot is yours. You grew it. Nobody can take it from you. Part 4: Water and Energy. When you live off the grid, you think about resources differently. Not with anxiety, but with awareness. With gratitude. Water, for most off-grid homesteaders, comes from a well or a borehole drilled into the underground aquifer. A hand pump brings it up. An electric pump, powered by solar panels, can make this automatic. Many people also collect rainwater from their rooftops, guided into large tanks called cisterns, which they filter and use for washing and gardening and sometimes drinking. You learn how much water you actually use. You take shorter showers, not because you're forced to, but because you've started to notice. You collect the water from rinsing vegetables and tip it onto the garden. You fix drips the same day you notice them. You become, without trying, more careful. More conscious. And strangely, this feels like freedom rather than restriction. Energy comes from the sun and the wind. A modest solar setup, a few panels on the roof, a battery bank in a shed, can power a small home almost entirely. LED lighting throughout. A laptop and phone charger. A small fridge if you need one, though many off-grid homes use a cool larder instead, a north-facing room built into the earth where temperatures stay naturally cold. Some homesteads have a small wind turbine too, spinning quietly on hilltop days when the clouds come in and the solar panels go quiet. Some have micro-hydro systems if they're lucky enough to have a fast-running stream, a small turbine in the water, generating steady power 24 hours a day. Heating comes from wood. A good wood-burning stove or a rocket mass heater, which burns wood so efficiently it barely produces ash, keeps a well-insulated home warm through even the coldest winter. You cut your own wood, or buy it from a neighbor, and you stack it in the autumn and feel a deep, quiet satisfaction at the pile. There is a kind of security in a stack of dry wood. You can see your warmth. It's real. It's there. Nobody can turn it off. Let your body rest now. Let your hands go soft. You've done enough today. You've always done enough. Part 5, The Rhythms of the Day. And now I want to tell you about the most beautiful part of this life. Not the systems or the buildings or the crops. The time. When you live off the grid, time changes. You wake with the light. In summer, early, the sky pale gold, the birds already busy, the air cool and damp and full of the smell of grass. In winter, later, the sun taking its time, the mornings dark and quiet, perfect for sitting by the fire with a cup of tea and a book and no reason to rush. Your day follows the rhythm of the land. In spring, there is planting and building and a kind of wild energy that comes from watching everything wake up. In summer, there is tending and harvesting and long warm evenings that seem to go on forever. In autumn, there is the great harvest, preserving and storing and preparing, and the particular satisfaction of seeing your larder full. In winter, there is rest. Real rest. The kind our bodies are asking for but rarely get in the world of electric lights and always open shops. You fix things when they break. You build things when you need them. You help your neighbors and they help you, because out here, community matters. A barn raising is a real thing. Sharing surplus vegetables over a fence is a real thing. Knowing the names of the people who live closest to you is a real thing. Your evenings are quiet. No screens, or very few. You read by lamplight. You play music, maybe someone in your household plays guitar, or fiddle, or simply sings. You talk. You play games. You go to bed early, because the morning comes with the sun and there is nothing in the dark worth missing your sleep for. You sleep deeply. Of course you do. You have worked with your body. You have breathed clean air. You have eaten food you grew yourself. Your mind is not full of noise, it is full of the sound of wind and water and the quiet thoughts of someone who knows where their next meal is coming from. You are tired in the right way. The good tired. The tired that becomes sleep the moment your head finds the pillow. Part 6, The Inner Life. Here is something that nobody tells you about living off the grid. It changes you on the inside. When you slow down, when you step out of the rushing stream of modern life, you start to hear yourself think again. You start to notice things. The way the light changes in late afternoon. The first frost on the grass. The exact moment in spring when the blackthorn blooms before its leaves come, white flowers on bare black branches, a thing so beautiful it almost hurts. You stop measuring your worth by how busy you are. You stop apologizing for resting. You become more patient. Things take time out here. A tree takes years to grow. A vegetable takes weeks. A skill takes a whole season to learn. And you discover that waiting, real, patient, unhurried waiting, is not wasted time. It is one of the richest things a person can do. You become more grateful. For warmth, for water, for a dry roof. For the hen that laid an egg this morning. For the neighbor who dropped off a bag of apples. For the silence that holds you every single night like something kind. You become less afraid. Not because life is easier out here, in some ways it is harder, more physical, more immediate. But because you know, in your bones, that you can manage. That if things go wrong, you have skills and a community and land that will provide. The deep background anxiety that hums beneath modern life, that low electrical hum of not enough, never enough, starts to fade. You are enough. You have always been enough. And out here, without the noise, you can finally hear that. Part 7, Beginning. You don't have to do all of this at once. Nobody does. Most people who live this way started very small. A window box of herbs. Then a vegetable patch. Then an allotment. Then a plot of land. Then, one day, a life that looked entirely different from the one they'd been told they were supposed to want. You can start tonight. Not with land or a cabin or a flock of chickens. But with a decision to slow down. To notice more. To want a little less and appreciate a little more. To go to bed earlier, wake with the light, eat something you made yourself, spend 1 hour outside doing nothing but being outside. The off-grid life is not really about being off the grid. It's about being on the land. Being in your body. Being in your days, rather than rushing through them toward some future moment when everything will finally be all right. That moment is now. It is always now. And now, wherever you are, in your bed, in the soft dark, with your eyes already closed and your breathing already slower, you are already closer to that life than you think. So rest now. Let the day go completely. It's done, and you did well. Imagine, if you like, that field I described at the beginning. The long grass moving slowly. The trees at the far end, dark and still. The sound of water somewhere beyond them. The smell of earth and rain. You have a small cabin here. The fire inside has burned down to deep orange embers that breathe slowly in the dark. Your bed is simple, a good mattress, warm blankets, a pillow that holds the shape of your head. Outside, the stars are out. All of them. Every single one. There is nothing you need to do tomorrow that cannot wait until the light comes. There is nothing chasing you. There is only this. The soft weight of the blankets. The faint smell of wood smoke. The sound of the wind in the trees. And the certain, quiet knowledge that you are safe. You are held. You are home. Good night.